So do get in touch with us. Use the hashtag Gameplan on Twitter. We're streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, on the Joy 99.7 pages, as well as on Twitter Spaces, on the Joy Sports GH and Joy FM Twitter Spaces. Okay, so we're streaming live on all of those platforms. Your thoughts and messages are welcome on the hashtag Gameplan on Twitter. If you prefer WhatsApp, the number is 055 11 11 997, 055 11 11 997. And the guys are here with me today. Sitsofe Philip, Atsrim is here. Gary L. Smith is here. Muftawu Nabila is here. And Daniel Koranteng, of course, will be joining us pretty shortly. And the Bedman has a different view today. Bedman! You're looking fresh, man.
No, he should unmute. Unmute.
Guy, unmute.
Bedman. Okay. Where's Bedman sound? Please, where's Bedman
No,
sound?
Bedman, we have to hear this one.
I can't hear Bedman. Bedman. What's going on?
No. Maybe it's the punk. I'll know I'm sure the punk is dwarfing the voice. He will get to you.
We'll get up. But we can hear him now. Huh? Bedman.
My man.
See, Bedman is representing the entire this country.
Entire this country.
No. Bedman, be careful. The country where you dey inside, no.
You got time for them already.
If you say you tire for this country, you are saying you tire for the country there.
And the go start you are top for Morocco. Why I say okay, chill. I like that.
Yeah, Bedman, Charlie. All correct. Where are you right now?
Charlie, I did inside.
Where are you?
Why you inside?
Where am I? I'm comfortably in my hotel room. I'm feeling good.
Your hotel room where?
Hey. I will not disclose my location.
Hey, you see, he's afraid of his house witches. Yeah, but Bedman is live from Morocco, man. Yeah. Live from Morocco. Is there for the CAF Champions League final. Danny K, I saw the video that you posted on the streets of was that from the streets of Casablanca or Rabat or where? Casablanca. Have you seen any of the cartoons in the Casablanca movie there?
Sorry.
Anyway, welcome to the show. That's where you'll be joining us for the show today. Sitsofe is here. Sitso, your outfit is matching the color of your car. Somebody spotted it. I didn't even notice. Gary.
Yeah.
That's quite.
Same.
Yeah.
I mean, if you took a picture there, they'll think it's a camouflage. Or
Some way.
And Gary has decided to come in here in.
Is it the Wando? Is it the Wando?
Muftawu is okay. You see,
okay.
don't let Daniel get you. You see where you are going with that.
Why? That's the way.
Anyway, guys, welcome to the show. You know, we have a lot to cover today on the show, so I really want to cut a few of the excesses. But let's go straight to the Ghana Premier League. That's where the big attention really is. It's the final weekend of the Ghana Premier League. Mediama Sporting Club have a 3-point lead at the top going into the final day. They play at home to Tamale City, who could be relegated if they lose and other results don't go their way. Mediama just need to avoid defeat in Takwa to win their first ever title. Bechem United are the ones that are right up their neck, but they're 3 points behind. They're going away to Doma, to Jana Stars, who've had a horrible run. They've not won a game in their last 5 matches. And Bechem need to win and hope that Tamale City can do them the big favor by beating Mediama in Takwa. It looks a very impossible scenario on that occasion. Not beating Jana Stars, of course, because that looks very possible. In the last 6 meetings, Bechem United have not lost to Jana Stars. So it looks like something they could easily do. The real issue is whether or not Tamale City can win in Takwa, and on that score, it looks like we could be talking about a new champion of the Ghana Premier League, a first winner of the Ghana Premier League this weekend. Sijo.
Yeah, I mean, unless Mediama try to wear the Borussia Dortmund jersey, I don't see how they battle it. If the fans turn up with yellow and black,
maybe yes.
Interestingly,
don't
they
forget
have
they're called mauve and
mauves and yellows.
Some way.
Some way.
That's why I've heard that they are saying that come to the venue in white. They don't want problems.
They're telling
They
all
want
the
a party.
fans
Yes.
to come to the venue
Yes.
in white.
They don't want to see anything with black and yellow something. But that's just by the way. I just think that, yeah, as you rightly said, if Midiama can equal or better Bechem United's results over the weekend, then they are champions.
Yeah.
And they've been on this tangent for a very long time. They've been looking to win it for a very long time. I remember when before number 12, or in the season when number 12 was released and the expose was out there, the league got cancelled. They were leading the table and they were playing some fabulous football.
Yep.
Then when the league returned, and then they were leading the league, and there was COVID, and we had to halt the league. They were still they were leading the league again.
So those 2 seasons they were top.
Those 2
and
seasons
looked set to actually go on and win.
Yeah, they could have
probably
shown.
had better teams in my opinion.
Yeah.
In those 2 years.
Yes,
than
what they have now, absolutely.
Yeah.
Some fabulous players in there. So they've been unlucky at times in seasons where, as you said, they were very good. They had very good players. By no fault of DS, they didn't bottle it. But circumstances bottled the opportunities of winning the league. And now they have a glorious opportunity of winning the league for the first time. Bankrola, owner of the club, Mons Parker, has been pushing money, signing players for this. This is what he's looking for. Yeah. You wonder if the people of Takwa do have, any experience or whatsoever to keep their calm for 90 minutes more to be champion. Because we've seen it before in football.
Yeah.
Where when it gets to this moment, if the fans don't even understand what it means, if the players don't know what this level is, it could very much get into their heads. They play against a team that are also playing for their lives in the league because they can't depend on other results.
Yeah.
They must take the destiny into their own hands. So it could be a tricky one. But I think that in Takwa, with the way the season has unfolded, with Midiama, with all the motivation that they can get from people in and around the place, I just think they'll be too strong for Tamale City. Bechem United could go on and do one on Adriana Stars. Adriana Stars have been poor in the last 6 games or so. But I think that the destiny is in Midiama's hands, and I think they are going to win it this time. And they're going to be, for their first time of being the Ghana Premier League champions, they won't get a better opportunity than this.
All right, Sitcho, hold on for me. Let's go live to Takwa now and find out what the atmosphere is. If the fans have been preparing to celebrate, or there's a bit of nervousness and anxiety, or a bit of excitement. Enoch Ezito joins us. Thank you, Enoch. Just let us know, in the last week leading up to today and leading to the weekend on Sunday, what's been the talk like in Takwa regarding the possibility of Midiama being crowned champions this weekend?
Yeah, friend, the atmosphere generally has been great. Just like you said, it's massive. It is not lost on anybody concerned with this club, the scale of the task ahead, and then potentially what this club could achieve. We are speaking about potentially Midiama being the first team in this part, in the Western region, winning the Premier League for the first time in 46 years. The last time a team won the league, a team actually from this part, Western region to be specific, won the league, was way back in 1977, a certain Sekendi Azaka. So it's that massive. What is at stake is potentially this club writing their name in folklore. So when the week began, that has been the conversation that has been on everyone's lips. How do the club go about navigating this task? That has been the conversation. That has been the narrative, and everybody concerned. Takwa as a city, neighboring towns, I mean particularly this particular enclave, everybody that is concerned has actually come on board to louden the conversation and then put the word out there that look, this is our time. This is the time for us to write our name in history. For the first time in the history of this football club, they could actually win the Premier League. Just like you said, they've come close, in the past. In 2018, they came close. And then 1922, they did, but for circumstances beyond all of our control, the team were not able to actually get over the line and win the league. But they always say that third time is always the charm. So, all is set. Everybody that is concerned with the club are looking forward to what could potentially be a quite mammoth weekend as far as the history of this football club is concerned.
Talk to me about what changes have happened in the club in the last few months, because they had of course Ignatius Osefo. He didn't last. They brought back an old dog in Augustine Adote. Adote knows this club very well. He's been with this club a long time. How has he got them performing again? What changes has he brought to this club that Ignatius Fosu and is succeeding where Ignatius Fosu, for example, failed?
Yeah, of course, French. That's a brilliant question. Mediama as a club for a while were struggling to find their own, find themselves, find an identity. So this is a club that said, okay, this is what we will do. Let us begin to churn out young players from our academy, bring them into the first team, and then buy some of the best players at game office, find the right balance, and see if we can annex the ultimate or win the Premier League. But then they sat down and they found out that may be a bit flawed. It may be a bit difficult to do. So, just like you said, Ignatius came in. Results did not entirely go according to plan. He was swept away, or he was given the boot. And this season in particular, David Duncan was actually the one who began the campaign for the team. Results did not see the light of day. So there's been that level of inconsistencies in the last few years. So many chopping and changing. As far as the technical direction of the team has been concerned, there's not been that level of consistency that you would say, okay, Mediama are going on this particular stretch or period of consistency or period of dominance. It is one thing that has proven to be an ephemer, if you would say, for the club. Then when Duncan departed, I mean, everybody was scrambling. Everybody in Tawa and then officials around the team were scrambling around looking for somebody to come in and steady the ship. Just before Duncan had departed, Mediama had gone about 5 games on a row without actually winning a game in the Premier League. So it was quite a crucial moment, as far as this season is concerned. Then Omar Rabi, who happened to be the assistant coach to David Duncan, also assumed the reins somewhere in the middle of the season. He also did his bit, but then somewhere along the line, he had an offer in Egypt. He had to depart. Again, another point where the club were looking at themselves. What do we do? They were scrambling around. Who are the other options? Especially in that crucial juncture of the season, something had to give. Then they decided to turn to somebody they know, a face that is familiar to them, somebody who already has history with this club. Mind you, he's the one who won the FA Cup, the first time with Mediama way back, in 2013. He knows this club. He knows what it means to be coach of this club. He came in, and then the rest is always history. He has been able to galvanize a group that, in my opinion, had lost their way under, Coach David Duncan, and then, subsequently Omar Rabi. So the story is quite refreshing, again, considering where Mediama came from, how they began the season, and then where they find themselves now. All of the credit obviously would have to go to Adote. He knows this team, like I said. He knows what it takes to be somebody to be the coach of this club. He knows what the team needs. Exactly. And then he comes in. It's almost like he came in to wave a magic wand. Then all of a sudden the club seem to find themselves just on the verge of doing something marvelous for themselves.
Here's my other question to you. Apart from, obviously, the influence of an old dog, a very experienced manager like Adote, who knows this club inside and out, that you cannot discard the influence of the experienced players that they have. Akwesi Donsu seems like a name that's been on the Mediama books for the longest time I could remember. But it's a former Hearts of Oak defender who is their top scorer this season. Vincent Atinga is Mediama's top scorer this season with 11 goals, and every single one of those has come from the penalty spot. How have they had that many penalties in a single season?
Well, friends, you get what you get. It's football, and nobody can say Mediama did not get those penalties, or they do not deserve those penalties they got. All of us have followed the season. We watched the games, and they've been good value for everything they've had. Nothing has been given to Mediama on a silver platter. I mean, somebody like Atinga, like you said, has been a reliable source of goals, especially from the short kicks. He's by far and by some distance the best penalty kick taker in this team. Every time and again, game in, game out, that Mediama have needed somebody to step up to the plate, step to the spot, and then convert the kick and then win valuable points for Mediama. Vincent Atinga has been the go-to guy. He's been that massive. And you see, for me, we can't say a lot. We would make all of the noise about the 11 goals he scored, but for me, that is the bonus to his game. What has been his primary duty as a defender? He's been that massive. He's been that immense at the back for Mediama this season. He's been the one person who has put it all together. He's been like the glue. He's been able to put it all together so beautifully for Mediama at the back, allowing the likes of Donsu, just like you mentioned, to pull the strings in midfield and then ensure that things continue ticking for Mediama as a class. So for me, I am particularly happy for players like Vincent Atinga and then Donsu, who happens to be captain. And if everything should go according to plan, should be the one who will be, raising the trophy come Sunday, at Akon Park. But friends, again, let me make this point.
Okay.
In my opinion, I feel that based on the football that Vincent Atinga has played this season, just like I said, he's been massive on both ends of the pitch. In my opinion, he should be shown in for player of the season.
Enoch, hold on. I think you're breaking up there a little bit. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Friends, can you hear me?
Yes. You were just making a point about Atinga being player of the season.
Sure. Look, we are speaking about, just like you said, the numbers are there for all to see. He didn't need to score those number of goals this season. No. He absolutely didn't have to score those goals. But then, whatever it is that he's done this season going forward, the 11 goals he scored, and then you can, take a trip down memory lane, look back at all of those goals. He scored those goals at very crucial moments, in the season, at various points that Mediama needed points.
Yeah, in fact, hold on for me, because I'm just looking at them here. In January, 90th minute against Accra Lions, penalty, Atinga converts. They win the game by 2-0. Okay, he's at the game against Mediama away from home. Penalty, 90th minute. He converts it. They win 3-2. Against Samatex, 90th minute. He converts. They win 2-0. Against Kotoko, 90th minute. He converts. They win 2-0. Bibiani Gold Stars, 90th minute. Accra Lions, 90th minute. It's crazy because he's converted after the 90th minute on every single one of those occasions, bar I think 3 of them. It's like you said, incredible composure to score at times when he's most needed, and he's never fluffed his lines. And I agree with you 100%. His experience coming to bear, and Mediama Sporting Club very deserved to be in this position. Hopefully on Sunday they can get it over the line, and I'm quite sure there will be absolute pandemonium in Takwa on the streets, and their fans would have deserved this. But thank you very much, Enoch, for bringing us up to speed on what's happening in Takwa there. So everybody preparing to celebrate, and rightly so. Guys, I mean, I made the point that out of Atinga's 11 goals, all came from the sport kick. Actually, 9 came from the sport kick. And all those 9 that came from the sport kick, most of them at very crucial moments of the game. We've always known him to be this good at penalty kicks. Even the WAFU tournament a few years ago.
Against Gambia.
Exactly.
Against
he
Gambia.
converted.
Ghana's opening game.
Thank you.
2017.
Heart of Oak, he was a penalty taker. So it just feeds into what we say all the time. You cannot discard experience if you're to win something. Gary.
Me, first of all, I'd like to apologize to myself because, guess what? Every time we have done predictions for GPL, I have consistently put Mediama as favorites, except this year. So Patrick Akoto hit me up, I think 2 weeks ago, when they finally made the stretch ahead of Bichem United. And he said, "Oh, Gary, of all the seasons you could have," because at the start of this season, I'm like, the bad luck is too much.
Even with David Duncan,
the bad luck was too much. And it says a lot about how consistent they've been.
Yeah.
That if Anas had not happened, normalization had not happened,
then
COVID had not happened, we would have been looking at Mediama possibly with minimum of 2 Premier League titles.
Agreed.
Minimum of 2, and this could have been their 3rd. So for me, it's flowers time for them. Look, they have invested so much. I don't know how Muspaka has kept the faith with his sponsors and agreed to keep the sponsors putting the money inside the club, but I think it's flowers time for them. To answer your question directly, yes, of course, experience as always. Where teams in Ghana have come in as nouveau riche and have always had money and have started buying all over the place, some have got the model right, some have splurged fancifully or, not very sensibly. Ediana over the years have done it well. They buy the best players in the league, but they somehow know how to, they pay them well, one.
Yeah.
Ediana always play, you barely, it's just 1 or 2 isolated incidents, but it was always sorted out. By and large, they always bought well. Brekum Chelsea did, and then we know the issues. The owner, went out of the country, and so.
Yeah.
But Mediama is that guy. Mediama is that guy who always bought smartly, bought the best players, also paid them well,
and very young players too.
Very young players, in a certain age bracket. Yeah. They never really they got experience, but they didn't buy players that were like 33, 34, players who had been 5-6 years in the Ghana Premier League. So many.
You remember Kwame Boahen,
so
Eric
many.
That was their group was
even
crazy.
when Hans Kofi went there, the whole 9 yards. So for me, it's flowers time for them, and I'm extremely happy for the people and the fandom they've created. The last thing I'd like to say is about the fandom. You see, they are not what you'd call a traditional team, especially with the move from Kesben to Mediama. But they have done what they have done so well, engaged the community so well, that they have become almost like a traditional team in that area.
Yeah. And Goldfields are building a stadium.
Yes, and that's something you don't see often.
And that stadium will be completed next season. So,
and
they have
their place as league champions.
As league champions. Oh boy,
that should be massive. I'm going to play in Africa.
Come on, wonderful story. It's almost like it was well scripted. But congratulations to Mediama.
Yeah,
if they win.
Yeah, if they win. When they win.
When they win.
But the relegation is where a lot of people's attention.
Where the Jews
fantastic.
What's happening with House of Oak? I mean, there's a mathematical chance that they could be relegated.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen. But it's extremely poor to see the club go from potentially, I think, if you go back 4 games.
Are you kidding me?
House of Folk were in the mix. But he also said something about how incredibly close the league was. Now suddenly, going to the last day, there is a mathematical chance that House of Folk could be relegated. It's unbelievably. Like, it's such a shocking conversation to even have.
Before you come in once and say, let's laugh a bit. Is it this week somebody said, or last week, a well-known person said the Ghana Premier League, because of this actual dynamic, is the most competitive in the world this year.
How you call that? How you call that so well? It's just a couple of days ago.
What the table you're saying?
It's just a couple of days ago.
But
same with Lions even.
I mean, Lions had an incredible start, but Lions' track record in the league is not as huge as obviously Hartlepool. So you can say, okay, they've deflated a bit, and Lions as well have the tendency of shipping some of their best players even during the season. But that's Hartlepool, and this is why I've been one of those who have said that I will not take the disrespect many people gave to Samuel Buedu.
Right.
Because in this period,
that's a good point.
Absolutely, and we speak about Mediama. Oh, before Nanas Expose, they were on top. Before COVID, they were on top. It was Buedu. It was Buedu who was their coach at the time. Who was doing a great job
on both occasions.
On both occasions, and when he moved from Mediama to Hartlepool, he won the league with them.
He won the double.
After the double. In fact, won everything that was available to him.
If you won, you can say it was a treble because the Super Cup too. They won it.
Yes, Peru, his. And so, Boadu is a great guy. And after the first season with the group of players that he had, Nete, Afutu, all of them were underperforming. All of them were not great before he came. But when he got the job, we saw how good he could make them play. He went on the next season to win the FA Cup. Then, of course, it wasn't working. Then he left. And I've always said that Hartlepool group that played 2 years and won 2 FA Cups, 1 league title was all Boadu. It was all Boadu.
At the President's Cup.
The President's Cup as well. It was all Boadu. Because a lot of these players had been around the club. Some of the signings and some of the decisions he also took around that time helped the club. And since he left, we've seen the decline. Like, it's so sharp.
Steep.
So steep. Like, they've declined so much that
it's like you pouring water from a mountain.
Like that. One game away from the end of the season. If you're not talking about Hartlepool maybe trying to finish in top 4, we're talking about Hartlepool possibly realistically. I mean, realistically, it's not possible. Mathematically, being in the conversation of relegation, and that is how bad the team has been. So I just think that for many people who didn't give Boadu the credit he deserved while he was there, go back now, pause, reflect, and look at Hartlepool now. I thought he did a great job while he was there, and Hartlepool they've not replaced him.
And I also think, to be fair, it's deserved karma, for Hartlepool fans for their utter impatience.
But were they actually the reason why Samuel Boadu was fired?
Not just Boadu. No, not Boadu.
That's not the point he's making.
Matic.
Yes.
I thought when he came in, Matic had this great run for a certain, I think about 7 games or so, where he didn't lose a single game. He had the team performing at a really good level. Then it took a little bit of a dip. That's expected. But suddenly, they chased after him at the training ground and asked him to leave.
And friends, when he took a dip, it made sense because at the time Matic was having that run, key players of his were playing with the Chan team during the qualifiers.
Yes.
So he didn't have the likes of Awaku, the likes of
Thank you.
Free Bani at the time.
Even Salim, who recently was shipped out of the country.
And this midfielder, great midfielder of his, goal scorer, scores at times for the Chan. The face is right in my head. The name just can't come. Oh, I forgot.
It's okay.
Not Caleb. Midfielder. Attacking midfielder. I'm sure somebody listening remembers the name. I'll remember it. But the point is, there were key players of that team of his. About 5 or 6 of them.
6 players.
6 players who were in the Chan team. And during that time...
Are you talking about Ibrahim?
No, Ibrahim.
No, Ibrahim.
No, Ibrahim. There's another guy.
Oh,
Okay, you keep going.
Yeah.
Somebody will text it.
There's S in the name.
Yes,
I forgot it.
How can I?
Suraj.
Suraj. Like the face is right in my head. I can't put on the name. And Suraj was so important for Hartlepool at that time.
Yeah.
And Mata didn't have all these players, but still managed to get results from those that he had. And the reason why after about 7 games, he started showing on the team was that the squad wasn't big. Most of his key players were not there. Some started getting injured. So it was expected that he struggled at some point. They didn't give him the patience to get his more important players back. And as you said, this is where they are.
But sometimes clubs like Hartlepool and Kotoko, they are always impatient. And sometimes I would always say, I remember in 2015 when Kotoko was struggling, and I asked the question, who should take the blame? At this point, fans would always withdraw themselves without and would not.
Yeah, they blame everybody else apart from themselves.
Everybody else except themselves.
Yeah.
At this point, Hartlepool is struggling because just recently you heard the video clue. He said that the fans have got every right to express their opinion.
But don't disrespect me.
Okulu is another one.
Let me know what you want to say, but I don't want to touch it.
I know, right? Let me go over the line.
He said he inherited a depleted squad. So know how to talk to me.
Even Nana Amponsa also say
that
he didn't necessarily want to sack Zebo, but the pressure from the fans and everything.
Even including the board. But that one, they can go fight.
So
let me bring on Danny K here. He's always got very big opinions on Hartlepool. Daniel, it's been a disastrous season, to say the least. And I don't know how they happen. We're all talking about the fans' impatience, and somebody can blame Akambi as usual. He looks like an easy blame target. But what do you think has gone wrong here for Hartlepool for us to be talking about them potentially getting relegated with one game to the end of the season?
Before I start, am I loud and clear?
Of course, you are loud and clear. You are loud and clear.
Sweet. You remember when that thing happened to Matic, the unfortunate incident with the fans, when it happened to Matic and he was asked to stay away from the club. You remember that thing?
Of course we all do.
Yes.
He went to the police and the police instead of protecting him, they told him that, oh, if you like yourself, don't go to the train.
The unfortunate thing is that he went and met a Heart of Oak supporter.
I say the guy to say Charlie, the truth. You know, so the first line
a couple of days after that thing happened, if you remember, Hearts of Oak posted on their various social media handles a black and white picture of David Oklu with the caption "Our Gaffer" and a heart emoji. When your gaffer was asked to stay away from the club, your real gaffer was asked to stay away from the club because of fans' misbehavior. The club was telling us that they've got a new gaffer, black and white picture of David Oklu with a heart emoji. I remember that post. It was on a Thursday. Friday, I said I won't say anything. Saturday,
Thursday,
I said
what
I'll
time?
be calm. But Sunday, on Sports Arena, I said, no, my God will not allow me to have peace if I don't speak my mind.
Thanks.
So I said on that Sunday that, you see,
on your phone.
in life, there are certain head coaches and certain managers that are fit for certain championships. There are a certain caliber of managers that you go for. And it cuts across everywhere. If you want to be mid-table, there are some managers that know how to be mid-table. If you want to go on relegation and you want to be in a relegation fight too, there are some certain managers who are specialists in that one. David Oklu, when he was at Liberty, he didn't be the one who went the first half of the season. Liberty were rock bottom. They had to sack him. And because of the results from the first half, they were relegated. Have you forgotten?
I have not forgotten.
Then he's the one who, when you are in a title challenge, you give him the job. Agafa, black and white picture, not colored. Black and white picture.
He went from being the head coach of a Ghana Premier League team to being assistant at another.
Then back to head coach.
No, back to
Head
assistant.
coach of another Ghana Premier League team.
Then head coach.
The Lord is my shepherd. Black and white picture. If you come and give the job to David Oklu and you are in a title race, you think you win? The man is noted for relegation fights. This is where David Oklu, his speciality is. Relegation fights. The records are clear. House of Folk, they are just not serious. Samuel Boadu, brilliant manager, disrespected, sacked, made him feel like he was the cause of all the problems. The board needs to take responsibility. The fans also need to take responsibility. David Oklu also needs to take responsibility. We shouldn't disrespect you that what? Weren't you part of the technical team when Matic was being disrespected? And then you gladly took the job and you were smiling for photos. Now when the team is going on relegation, you are telling the fans not to disrespect you. You see, there's a cut across, so anybody's favorite. Results. I'm not condoning violence, but if you don't put your foot down and correct some certain things when they happen, don't think that if it's your turn, things will change.
True.
You understand what I'm saying?
True.
He is noted for relegation battles. So when I see Hearts of Oak in this position, me, I'm not surprised. Because I said it then, that this man is a relegation specialist. More often than not, he goes down, he gets relegated, he doesn't even survive. So on Sunday, Hearts of Oak fans have to fast and pray that the Lord himself will turn the destiny of David Oklu. Because if his destiny is supposed to continue in where it's supposed to go to, Hearts of Oak will be in Division 1. But this team needs to be serious. This is a championship winning team. You hadn't won the league in 11 years. And Samuel Boadu came and won the league. He didn't just win the league. He won 5 trophies out of 6 in 2 seasons. And look at how he was treated. Look at what they've done to Matic. We've still not seen a proper club communique as to what has happened to Matic. So bizarre club management. And when you finish,
No, this one, I agree with you. I agree with you. Because how
They are
can
not serious.
they only released a statement to say that they are urging the fans. Urging, no. They didn't back the manager. They said to urge the fans to remain calm. Nothing has been said about the position of the coach, so we don't even know when he left the country, whether he's been sacked, whether his contract has been terminated. Nobody knows what has happened to Matic, and he's gone. At least Kotoko will tell us they've sacked the coach. Also, folks, they can't even tell us they've sacked the coach, or the coach has resigned, or the coach has been sacked by the fans. Nobody knows what has happened to the coach. But Great Olympics too, Daniel. They changed venues. They said Accra Sports Stadium, they were not winning. They said it's spiritual, and they are going to Zogakope. That is where the results will start coming. They're not landlords anymore. The landlords ran away. They went to Zogakope. It is still not working. And now they look like the likeliest candidate to go down. If they don't beat Iswatreman, they will be in trouble.
In my brief time in this job, Great Olympics and King Faisal, they love relegation. Their spirit is attracted to relegation. They'll flirt with it, sometimes they'll survive, sometimes they'll make it. So, funny enough, I'm not too surprised they are in this position. Look, and sometimes I'm actually happy that this is happening, because the same argument I'm making for Samuel Bedu is the same thing I'm doing for Anna Walker. Sometimes when managers come in and they do brilliant work, a lot of people just see it as it is normal, it's supposed to happen.
Yeah, true. They take it for granted.
They take it for, if you look at the work Anna Walker did with this Great Olympics team, the amount of influence he had in scouting, literally handpicking players, putting them together and taking them to a title challenge in the first season. And then the second season, they were comfortably mid-table or comfortably safe. Then he leaves, and now this is happening. It is clearly showing people the class of the managers who are in charge and how well and how good they are. Because this is what we are seeing from Heart to Folk. It's what we are seeing. Okay, maybe not to that extreme, but what we were seeing before Samuel Bedu came in. What we are seeing at Olympics is basically what we were seeing before Anna Walker came in. So sometimes when people are doing good, you need to credit them for what they are doing, especially when it is not something that you see often. When somebody comes in and he changes the face of the club, all of a sudden you are competing. Don't take it like it's a given. You have to give them credit for what they are doing, because Charlie, their job is not easy.
You know, if it be easy, do it.
Daniel said something that's quite interesting for me. And me,
okay,
I don't sympathize with Olympics and King Faisal.
Yeah.
I've
that
always
was the
said
point I was going to say. Yeah.
they came through the back door.
Yeah.
Just go back.
There were the two that came 4 years
They were
ago.
What I was going to
two.
say.
And the kind of lobbying that happened before they were allowed. And that's why we have 18 teams
18
in Premier
teams
League.
for a league that doesn't have any money.
So it's a bit
It
of
was
a
16. They came through the back door.
Yeah.
After the normalization committee said
Yeah.
we wanted to leave a clean slate for the new leadership of the FA, we don't
let's
want to
allow
have
them to
litigation.
come.
So let's allow them to come. And I remember very well, Randy Abbey stood up. Hey, he convinced everyone in there, they clapped for him.
Yes.
I was there.
Yeah.
So they came. 2 seasons on, they are going back.
Two seasons, man. 4. Election year, they are going back.
No. For the first one, because of COVID, it was cancelled.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. It's 4 years.
It's 4 years.
Okay, 4 years on, they are going back.
Thank you.
So
4 years
put like
and 3
same
seasons.
journey.
So, just around the time that is going to be the Congress that
Yes.
that brought Kent to power.
Yes.
It will be around the same
But
Congress
they are
that
going
perhaps
back.
takes
That
them
will
back.
relegate them.
Charlie football on the line like that.
They'll go to Congress and confirm that they've been relegated.
It's a
I don't
bit
really
of-
sympathize with them, actually. I don't.
Yeah, it's a bit of karmic catharsis for some people. But all the best to them. This season, hopefully, we get a new champion. And a kind reminder, of course, that already Kotoko Royals and King Faisal have been relegated. Just one more team will join them. We already have the 3 teams that will play in the Premier League next season. The 3 teams that have been promoted. Nations FC from the Ashanti region. They have their own stadium and everything. They're coming to the league. Lions, Pando, Heart of Lions, they're making a return to the Ghana Premier League as well. And Bafuakwa Tano, they are the 3 teams that have been promoted to the Ghana Premier League as far as that one is concerned. This is Gameplan on 99.7 Joe FM. We'll be switching the conversation up on the proposals that have been made to Congress. We still also have the conversation on the UEFA Champions League as well as the Saudi Arabia global takeover to come here on the show. Do stay with us. Send us your messages 055 1111997. That's the WhatsApp number 055 1111997. Also, leave me a message on Twitter with the hashtag Gameplan. This is Gameplan on 99.7 Joy FM. 9.7 Joy FM. Gameplan is the show. We're running from now till 2:50 p.m. All of the quality conversations on sports happening here on this show. Yes, you heard the Hits FM Rep Your Jersey. That's tomorrow from 10 a.m. We're live at the Aviation Social Center. So you don't want to miss this entertainment and fun-packed day as we climax and watch the finale of the UEFA Champions League in grand style on a giant screen. Jama sessions will be there. Jama wash and field contest, 4 squeeze, 5-a-side, Champions League anthem, and so many more. All of that happening at the Hits FM Rep Your Jersey. It's powered by Bet365, and it starts from 10 a.m. till you drop. So come around, we'll all be there. The Hits FM Rep Your Jersey is powered by Bet365, supported by Joy Sports and Joy Prime TV, and sponsored, of course, by Chateau Lozenges. Think natural, think Chateau. Leopard Balm, Fast Action, Pain Balm, Nasco, Bring Home Happiness, Heineken, Share the Passion, DSTV Business, Jamar Detergent, your partner for clean clothes, National Petroleum Authority, Access Bank, Modern Banking, Day by Day Man from Dream Cosmetics, Dream It, Live It, Franco Trading Enterprise, Phone, Papa Fee, Aquadot Natural Mineral Water, Obenuman and Bio, Dance World International Services, Beyond Expectation, the official cleaning partner, and Citizen Sports Hall, level up your game. And Duraplast for over 50 years, they've become your reliable partner for quality plastic products such as PVC and HDPE pipes of various sizes. They've now progressed to become a leader in the plastic industry in West Africa and parts of Central Africa. Yes, where you live matters, where and how you store your water matters too. How do you check the level of water in your water storage tank at home or at work? Do you just hit the side and listen, or do you climb all the way to the top to look inside? You can fall inside though. That's why they've introduced Water Tank, the ultimate tank for water storage by Duraplast Limited. It comes with an optional water level indicator that lets you know exactly how much water you have in your water tank. It's not only beautiful, but it's also designed to carry accurate volumes of water. If it's 5,000 liters, it means 5,000 liters. And of course, it's very durable and available in various sizes. Get yourself a water tank today from Duraplast. Water tank, what a tank. Remember, where Duraplast goes, water flows. Your Sundays will not be the same again. They've just gotten better, more exciting. The real deal now, it's official. Cues and Lyrics is here. A music competition show that aims at unearthing music potential in contestants whilst providing Joy Prime's cherished viewers with the ultimate entertainment. Watch the 12 budding musicians as they journey to stardom. Don't miss out on the experience every Sunday at 8:30 p.m. only on Joy Prime. Cues and Lyrics is produced by Joy Prime and powered by Hits FM. Cues and Lyrics, bring on the music. Joy Prime, the ultimate experience. All right, guys, let's switch the conversation off now a little bit. Talk about Congress. Now, very soon the GFA is going to Congress. They've scheduled that Congress for Kumasi. KNUST is where it will happen. And, of course, that's not the elective Congress. Remember, that's the ordinary Congress. That will happen
on July 6th.
Yes, on July 6th in Kumasi at KNUST. And that's where that will take place. Purportedly, there will be lots of changes that will be done there. In fact, a committee was put together to come up with proposals to be amendment proposals to the statutes that were adopted during the last Congress when the Normalization Committee handed over. Now, we know some members of that particular statutes review committee. Randy Abbey is one of them. We were also told now Odufolio was one of them, who, by the way, was part of the Normalization Committee that came up with the proposals. she's now joined the committee to review the same proposals. A lot can change in 4 years, obviously, and people's opinions and experiences can lead them to recommending a change in laws. Our man that's has all the juice and all the filler at the GFA is Muftawu Nabila. Muftawu, what? Let's just go straight for the juggernaut here. What changes did this committee recommend? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely is it that those changes will be voted for and adopted at the next Congress?
Okay, so as you mentioned, the committee, there are 5 of them. Randy Abe, Frederick Echampon, they are the executive council members. Oluboy Komodo, now Odefolo Norte, who is a lawyer of the FA. And then there's Eric Yeboah of Pacific Heroes. These were the people assembled to review the statutes of the Ghana Football Association. And the GFA brought them together in September last year, if my memory serves me right. And they were asked to review parts of the statutes, especially Article 34 of the GFA statutes, 37.4 of the GFA statutes, which talks about the tenure of the FA president. They were also asked to review Article 26 of the statutes, which talks about the size of Congress. They were also asked to review the Executive Council. You will recall that I remember that Congress that was organized in September 2019. Especially now the Follow Norte, who was a member of the now defunct normalization committee, she had argued that a company, per the company laws of Ghana, should not have more than 12 board of directors. That was the argument she put in place. But this time around, the FA, they've been able to review the statutes. Some of the things they are proposing is that, one, they want the tenure of the president to be moved from 2 to 3 terms. And the explanation that I picked up was that the statutes say that an executive council member can go for 3 terms. In the opinion of the FA, the president is also an executive council member. Mm-hmm. Also, the FIFA regulations say that the FIFA president can go for 3 terms. CAF regulations say that CAF president can go for 3 terms. WAFO regulations, same. So they think that if you're asking the GFA president to do just 2 terms, that is not the standard. So if the executive council members can go for 3 terms, then the president too should be able to go for 3 terms. So they've asked them to review that. That has been reviewed. That has been sent to the executive council. They are also saying that let's have 2 vice presidents of the Ghana Football Association. 2 vice presidents, one of which is going to be a woman. They want a woman to be there so that she will represent the interests of women's football. She will chair the women's football desk at the Ghana Football Association. Also, they are saying that the members of the executive council, instead of 12, let's increase it to 23. Because every member of...
That would be 22 plus the president.
Plus 23. The president, yes, making it 23. The argument actually was that the RFS say that they are not fully represented when it comes to the decision making of football in the country, and every region has got a peculiar issue that must be addressed. So they want.
That was the case.
That was the case.
All RFA chairmen were automatic executive council members.
Yes,
that was changed during the last
2019
review of the statutes. Yes. And now they want to reinstate it.
Yeah, they want to reinstate it. So they will also reduce the number of Premier League teams. That is the delegates. So currently, if you read Article 26 of the statutes, which talks about the size of Congress, it says that the Premier League clubs, which are 18, each Premier League club should have like 2 delegates each.
Yeah. Now they have 2 votes each. Each club has 2 votes.
Yes. Now they want to reduce it from 36 to 18, so that you will have 1 vote each per club. And I was made to understand that FIFA.
What's the motivation for that?
Well, I'll just go in there.
Okay. Good.
They say that FIFA does not support a member of its federation having more than 2 delegates or having 2 delegates. It should be 1. But and also the interesting thing too is that they are increasing the number of delegates for the women's teams from 8 to 20. That's what they want to do.
That is one each two.
One each two.
They
So
didn't have one each.
Yeah, it was 8. So now they've decided, okay, let's take it up to 20.
Equality.
Equality. Division 1 is going to remain same. And in fact, recently you might have heard the FA president talk about the challenges they've encountered when it comes to reducing the size of Division 1 league clubs to 18 to play 18 league team league and all that. So that is an area they are not even willing to touch. And in fact, in the course of my conversation with people who are close to these things, the sense I got was that, and in fact, they described that congress that happened in Kumasi, schools and the trees.
Yeah,
schools and I remember that.
The infamous defunct.
Yes. The
Congress,
the schools
where
and the
they
trees
tried
Congress.
to unseat the GFA president.
So some of the things that were proposed are things that the FA is considering. The current leadership, they are considering them. They want to add them to the current proposals that have been submitted to the
What was
Executive
the
Council.
key proposal from that group?
The key proposal is the tenure of the president. To me. Because
I'm talking about the school and the trees.
the school and the trees. Okay, they also wanted to have all RFAs as part of the executive committee.
Okay, which is now being considered.
Yes, and they were also fighting against
a useless congress after all.
So
Exactly.
they were also fighting against the reduction of the Division 1 teams from 48 to 18 and all that.
Yeah.
So all these things are being considered by the Executive Council of the Ghana Football Association. One area that was of interest to me, especially if you read Article 37.4 of the statutes, which talks about the tenure of the president. You've mentioned that it happens because sometimes we can change our minds within 4 years. But I'm thinking, as a member of the normalization committee that drafted the statutes, I'm thinking, and also the lawyer of the Ghana Football Association, now the full notice should have been able to argue out that let's not change this. Because it was in her wisdom that they felt that we should do 2 terms for the president and not 3 terms. Or let's say the whole normalization committee of which she was part of. And she was the legal brain. She was the legal brain behind the statutes. So I don't know whether if she was able to argue her way out to tell the committee that no, I think we should keep it at 2 because if we extend it to 3 terms, we might be overpowering the president and all that. But it has been proposed. In fact, this week, the FA, they've held meetings with Division 1 league clubs, Women Premier League clubs. They've met PFAG. They are doing consultations of the proposal that have been submitted to the Executive Council. Next week, Tuesday, they are expected to meet the Premier League clubs and also tell them what the proposals are. After these consultations, then they will submit them to FIFA. FIFA will look at the proposals, look at the grey areas, tell them this is allowed to go, this is not allowed to go. Then they will bring it back to the FA. When they give it back to the FA, then the FA will also now forward it to the Executive to the Congress for a decision to be made.
And all of this must happen before July 6th. Because
it could happen before July 6th. There's also the possibility that because unless of course the FA tells FIFA that we need you to get back to us as soon as possible. Because the governance office of FIFA, they're not going to be dealing with only our issues. There are so many issues out there.
I say that because what it means is that if that doesn't get approved at this Congress, possibly it could be moved to the next Congress, which will be the elective Congress.
Yes.
And they will set the date for that after this particular Congress.
No, actually, one of the things I was made to understand is that the elections committee are yet to give any roadmap to the Executive Council of the FA for consideration.
For the elections
Even
this year.
as of yesterday.
Yes,
the election committee, they can come out with that at any time. So it's possible.
Exactly. And I'm saying that
today,
it doesn't matter whether they like it or yes, we will have an election this year.
We are supposed to have one. But let's not forget, there's a precedence. In 2010, when we were going to the 2010 World Cup, the FA had a conversation. They lobbied each other and said, let's go to the World Cup and come back.
Yeah.
There's an African Cup that is going to happen in January. Are we going to vote in a new president? Let's assume it happens that Kurt is not given the opportunity to continue by the football community. That will mean that a new president will have to come in and will have how many months to prepare for that tournament. So they can find their way out and
The
have
other precedent is it's happened elsewhere before. Nigeria, before the World Cup,
it happened.
said
2018.
They said they didn't want any distractions, and so
Why
Pinnick
is it
pushed
always? Why is it always a distraction when it comes to the FAs? But we can have an election on December 7, and on January 7, we've sworn in a new president. There is no minister of sports, and we are playing AFCON, and everything goes well. It's happened. Yes,
I know.
You remember 2017 AFCON?
It's
That drama, that's another that one.
Yes.
I remember you and
Because
Veronica Kome were in the studio.
We had an election. Okay, we had an election on December 7, 2016. There was a change of government. There was still an AFCON to be played.
In fact,
just 2 weeks later.
In fact,
Or
Isaac
3 weeks
Siama was
later.
yet to be sworn in as minister when he went to Gabon for that tournament.
Yes,
and
and
went
we-
and told the players, "We'll give you $5,000."
Yes, and we made it to the semi-finals.
But this is an important point you raise, and it just for the purposes of
Yeah.
education, it cuts to the heart of how normal governance of a country is very different from football
Yeah,
governance.
from football governance.
And it cuts to why the football family is what it is, because that community, or what they call the football people. Colloquially, or which our president now likes to call he and his people
Football
call
family.
football ecosystem. That's what they like to say. You see, the rate at which they can agree to and for decisions to be made is what makes FIFA what it is, as powerful as it is, and as and that is what as independent as it is.
Yeah.
So, it's just a matter of lobbying in a certain way, and then they say that let's not have the election, let's go and come.
Let's go and come.
So it's as simple as that.
And it's worth pointing out that even if these changes were approved, they will not be taking effect from this next elective Congress.
When changes to the statutes of the FA are done now, within the next minute, they take effect.
So you're saying that at the next elective Congress, if they were to approve these
things, they are going to be used for the elections.
They're going to take effect for the next election.
Yes.
So it means that
From
at the
that
next
second.
election,
So that would
we would
mean
have
that
23 executive committee members.
So that would mean that Nations FC, Heart of Lions, Tenable Fakwa will be voting as Premier League clubs.
And do you understand the significance of what you've just said? Do you understand the significance of what Muftawu has educated us that between now and July 6th, should all these processes go to FIFA, be done and dusted, and it comes, he's telling us that every decision that is ratified and agreed will take effect, will work at the elective Congress.
Yes.
It is that same elective Congress where some of these decisions will inure to the benefit of certain candidates and go against certain candidates.
Yeah,
of course.
You Bab.
Yeah.
You Bab.
So something
like
has
you
to
really
give.
Bab.
Yeah.
Something has to give.
I mean, Sitso, your thoughts
Yeah.
on all these proposals? It looks like quite a lot happening.
Yeah, I think it's massive. Massive credit to the team that is reviewing the statutes and the proposal that they brought up. They are so politically correct.
in local parlance, what you want to talk, we say, then they understand the job pass.
Ejumalo.
You will have Oluboy in there, you will not be correct.
See, credit to them.
Then they understand the job pass.
Me. I've given it to them because listen. See, they are not joking.
It be chess then they play.
They are proposing that you have another vice president who should constantly be a woman. See, if you take this proposal to any international body, that your association, there is a special space for women.
Hey, you are leading the way,
Bro,
And in fact, the executive committee, they're supposed to have two people representing women football.
yes.
I mean,
United
that is
Committee.
such international best practice.
Hold on, no.
It's so-
Yes, no. I know. And guess what? Sitcho, what can't they know? And you see, and in the same vein, they've increased the number of votes from the women's club from 3 to 20. The vice president. 20 votes.
It is politically so correct. And of course, the argument is if a president can go 3 terms, CAF president can go 3 terms, all the sub-regional presidents can go 3 terms. Boga, why can't the GFA president go 3 terms? It will not be president some.
Even if member of the executive committee can go 3, why can't he do 3?
If ESCO members can go 3 terms, so politically It is correct. And you see, I want to also separate this. This thing of the president running for 3 terms, what have you, is not for Keto Kreku. It is for whoever the Football Association president is. So if he goes for an election, and they vote him out, and somebody comes in, that person has the opportunity
to do 3 terms.
And let's be clear, Sicho. So let me pass the ball to me.
Pass.
So I've taken the ball. Look, this decision that they want to take, right? The football people likely will agree to it because they know that even if Kurt doesn't agree to it today, you can be president tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you will chop.
Thank you.
Do you understand?
Gary have over-explained what I wanted to say in a way I couldn't have done
you
it.
collect the true pass again.
Thank you. So you see, it is not a Ket Okraku thing because he won't be president forever.
True story.
So if the Congress, you see, I've always told people that sometimes don't be too emotional over football. You don't have any power.
You don't. No, you really don't.
Football, from FIFA to RFAs to club owners, those of you outside, football fans, you are a tool. The moment you understand that you know your limits, you don't have any power like that. They'll use you when they want to use you. When the Super League thing wanted to happen, the English fans who were on the streets, most of them didn't want to go there. Boris Johnson called the leaders of the supporters group, guys, get your boys on the street for me. Alexander Chefren called leaders of supporters group in England.
True.
Did you see demonstration in Italy? Did you see demonstration in Spain? Don't they have football fans there? No, they know their Real Madrid. Their Real Madrid have more control. Football fans, if you are too emotional, the leaders of your sports will use your emotions for their own good.
True.
So reason between the lines. Whether you like Katokraku and its administration or not, you don't have any vote.
Story.
You don't have any power. And that's
story.
a fact. Those who have said that they are in the football family, they will decide how football is run in your country. That is why you need a government that has sporting policies so that it can massage. Why do you think the UK government has released a new sports bill? So that they have a certain level of control. So the football people can go and do all these things that they are doing. But when it comes to how football and sports is developed in the country, you can't leave it to individuals. Because once you leave it to them, they kick you and the citizens out of the space. That is why FIFA are what they are. Nobody can question FIFA unless you go and do Wagadre like they did to Platini and co. So for me, these things that they are proposing politically, there isn't one mistake.
No. And Sicho is absolutely right because the UK government would have a lot of control because they are investing in the development of the sport. So they have control. You are not investing. All you are doing is giving blasters money for tournaments. The people care.
UK government have released 400 million
and say, Jeff,
for grassroots.
Thank you.
Women's
you think they won't have control?
Grassroots women's football
development in the UK.
I think we need to get to a point where government will deliberately invest in football, not just football, but in sports in general.
Yes,
I agree.
Look,
we need to get to that point.
And you see, I'm glad we are having this discussion because after this we'll talk about Saudi. And we would crystallize. You see, today is the day that we probably this show goes to a wide range of people.
It does.
Why? And Ibrahim Sani has been saying this. Alaji Jaula, may his soul rest in peace.
Yes.
Alaji Jaula has been saying this forever.
Sports is a tool for a global takeover.
And we'll get to Saudi in a jiffy.
Please,
so we'll do Saudi.
You relax on the Saudi, okay? Because that's where we are going next, and you will start because I see you are boiling.
No. You want to tell
the people today the passes are in line.
Yes.
No, actually, I remember that just a couple of months ago, the ministry decided they were going to put together a policy for the governance of sports in the country. And they are looking at areas they think they can tap in that will help the development of football in this country. But one thing too that I think they should be more interested in is how the sport is going to be controlled. For instance, if you are a government who contributes zero to how talents are developed, are groomed. But you are only interested in the pyramid when it is inverted. You are interested in saying, we are going to AFCON. So Black Stars, bring your budget, let's go. We are going to Olympics, Ghana Boxing Federation, bring your budget, let's go. If that is going to be
we're interested in promotion, not development.
If you are interested in just promotion, that trajectory is never going to work when it comes to the development of the sport. So The
They
policy
said, no,
should be.
They say they've built a record number of astroturfs. So
Again, based on what he's saying, if you're interested in promotion and not the result,
and not the development.
and a very expensive example in recent times is China.
Yes.
Yeah, we've witnessed that.
It's China.
Yeah. It's
So
collapsed.
the lessons are there
Many.
for us to just read free of charge.
Yeah. Agreed. Let me take a few messages and then we switch up the conversation to what's happening in Saudi Arabia and why Karim Benzema has rejected Real Madrid in order to go to Saudi to join Cristiano Ronaldo. Of course, N'Golo Kante is also gone. Lexus is very sad about that. But this one says, Gameplan is undisputed best sports show in Ghana. I love this show. Hope in Odumasi Krobo with that message. This one says, good afternoon. If the potential GPL champions in this day and age can go on a 5-game winless streak and still manage to be in pole position to clinch the title, our football has a really, really long way to go. This was what it says, Mediama are champions already. Give them the cup because there's no way Tamale City will survive in Takwa. Kobe Anwaning from North Kaneshi. He sent in that message. This one says Inter Milan will carry the day. Will pour sand into the city, Gary. And he says against the B. Mike Barros from Legon. Barros is a Liverpool fan, so you see the disappointed Liverpool fan talking plenty. 055-1111-997. Now, this past month, we've all been, the world of football has been shaking by the sudden awakening of Saudi Arabia. Let me put it that way. We've always known that they've had the money. We've always known that they've been a little bit interested in football. Took Ronaldo there, but they've really taken it up a few notches now. And all the big players, if you don't take care, your best player is going to Saudi Arabia. And now it looks like even Gundogan is not safe. If he wins the Champions League, he could be going. Riyad Mahrez could be going. Kante is gone already.
Fentuo, hold on.
Benzema is gone already.
Hold on. I saw something somewhere. The person said, I want to stop trading or else the Saudis will come for me.
At this rate, Vincent Atinga is not safe.
There was a time we saw that happening in China, and Gary hit the nail right on the head.
Yeah.
But how is the China
Even in Russia?
Even in Russia with Angie Bakachkala.
Yes.
But how is the Saudi project different from the ones we saw in China or in Russia a few years ago? Why are Saudi Arabia suddenly investing huge sums of money into bringing sports stars to their country? And like I said before, Saudi Arabia, a country, is sponsoring the whole continent of Africa for the Super League, which is set to take effect from next season or 2 seasons from now, 2025, I believe, with $200 million. What is going on there, Gary?
So let's start with a joke on that point, right? So N'Golo Kante is going to take $100 million a year for 2 years. Euros, whatever currency it is.
Yeah. 200 million of anything,
which is
it's still high.
it's higher than the dollars anyway.
Yeah. So 100 million euros a year for 2 years. That's N'Golo Kante alone. Benzema is taking 200 million what?
Wait.
A year.
So for 2 years.
A year.
Have you seen-
200 million.
Have you seen the reaction from? Have you seen the reaction from
Lexus
Lexus?
Okay, Benzema 200 million
a year.
Okay.
N'Golo Kante 100 million a year. And Saudi
Ronaldo
Arabia
is already on what? 250?
Who?
Something like that.
Ronaldo,
Ronaldo is on 250. And Saudi are giving the entire continent of Africa, 54 countries, 200 million. You see, and that is how much of a joke we are.
No, but more to make it even worse. The whole Ghana is receiving 300 million first tranche.
No. You see, we are laughing. Listeners.
No.
We are laughing.
I want to tell you the significance of the money they are paying to these individuals.
Listeners, let's
Wait, you're saying that
Benzema
Benzema alone is what?
200
a year.
Yes. Your first tranche of the IMF money.
The IMF money, how much?
How much is it?
Maybe 350.
Quick.
No, listen.
And no, 600 more.
And this
No, it's 300.
this illustrates how much of a joke we are as a country and as a continent. You understand? The Super League, the CAF Super League, that they are going to do in 2024-25. Saudi Arabia have given CAF this amount of money. It's not been official, but we all know it's true.
Yeah.
So that they sponsor the CAF Super League to the tune of 200 million. Right. Now, why are they doing this? From the CAF angle, Saudi wants to host the World Cup in 2030. So they want to align all their lobbying prowess. Okay. Now, the way the World Cups have gone since 2010, we know about Sepp Blatter's promise and everything.
Yeah.
So theoretically, it goes intercontinental.
True.
Right. 2010 went to Africa, came to Africa. 2014 went to South America. 2018 went back to Europe. And then Qatar in the Gulf got its first World Cup. So theoretically, Saudi shouldn't be getting a World Cup because they are in the Gulf
Anytime soon.
Yeah. Saudi want to circumvent the process by fair or foul means. No, sorry, by fair means. By fair means.
By money means.
By money means.
By all means necessary.
By all means necessary. Which is why, for example, they tried to do the joint bid with Greece and Egypt.
Erratic.
So that, and guess what? When they did that, Saudi, being Saudi, they told Greece and Egypt that you just come and join our bid so that we can say that the World Cup will be a
Intercontinental
World Cup so that we circumvent it. And even better, we know that you Greece, you just came from IMF. Egypt, you don't have money. So we will build every
the
damn thing
facilities
for
for
you.
you.
That's what Saudi said. Saudi said, just give me your name.
Unbelievable.
Hey, Oba Abraha, Mewale.
That's the point.
They said they will build every stadium for them.
Yeah.
Just put your name on
The
it.
stadiums, the roads, the
Everything.
metros,
Everything.
the
Every infrastructure needed.
The infrastructure.
Metro.
Metro,
This way.
this way. Metro.
This way.
So, but Egypt pulled out. Egypt pulled out of the deal. And here is where I want to begin. That the Saudi project, even though it is getting a few setbacks here and there is a method to their madness. Right. So let's begin by Saudi. Saudi, one day, before all this, they were a country that had their history as the holiest place in Islam,
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
as a tourist magnet, and people used to come there and they used that tourism
For Hajj.
around Mecca as their biggest tourist, and that has been like that for
The
centuries.
longest time.
And then in one day in March 1938, one of the oil wells that they had, which was owned by an American company, suddenly struck oil, and their destiny changed. That company would now later become Chevron. Chevron. But out of that, Saudi, the geographical, the political, and everything about Saudi changed. Right. Until very recently, all this oil meant that Saudi had a lot of money to do a lot of things. They were flexing their muscle in everything. But the world started changing with the realization that the climate crisis was coming. And all studies showed that if they kept depending on oil, which, by the way,
Could run out.
currently is 92% of their earnings. 92%.
The entire country's GDP.
Yes, they are-
92% is from oil.
Is from oil. They realized at a point that, and just like Qatar did somewhere in the early 2000s, that the oil will run out. And so, based on that, they have to look for other avenues to start reining in money from. Places like China started a blueprint where, because of their communist regime, they started attracting people to China via education,
Yeah.
tourism, even
Yeah.
though they don't really like tourists there,
Yeah.
and other means to bring it. China also saw that sport was one way to get people into the country and to make money. China played a long game. They started about in the 19 something, in the late 20th century, which culminated in their hosting of the Beijing 2008 Olympics.
Yeah.
After that, they saw that soccer was an easy way to rehabilitate their image and also to bring in the needed eyeballs for their country and the development that they wanted to do.
So they said Vision 2050.
So they set Vision 2050.
Yeah.
They empowered some of their state-run and parastatal companies to bring the best footballers, and we know how that ended.
Yeah.
the best footballers started going there on unreasonable salaries and everything. What they didn't do probably well, that some of these other countries that are using sports are trying to fix, is they didn't focus on the grassroots. So that it was sort of like somebody standing on a very loose foundation.
Yeah.
So they built the top, but the foundation was weak. And now the football example in China has gone down because things are not the same.
Yeah.
Russia, as we know, did the same. They used, I don't want to use the word sports washing because it's a very contentious thing.
Sports washing is a very there's nothing wrong with sports washing.
So
But
sports,
it's actually the thing.
it's
There's
contentious
nothing wrong with it,
because
actually.
sports washing is the principle of using sports and money to rehabilitate your image at
A
a time,
damaged image,
damaged image.
presumably.
Yes, so that people will love the brand that your country stands for.
Correct.
China did this, Russia did this. They did it so successfully that at a point they were hosting almost every international chess competition of repute.
Yeah.
We saw
And especially winter games too.
Winter
Sochi.
Games, Sochi. They got
World Cup was
F1.
there.
They got
Formula One,
F1
Yeah.
Petersburg,
Also in Sochi.
in Sochi, and so on and so forth. It was at the time that the Ukraine crisis started that we saw the sheer number of international bodies pulling out of Russia that we realized the true scale of how successful Russia
the
had been
impact, yeah.
with their sports washing. The latest was Qatar, which culminated in their hosting of the World Cup.
I'll go back there
So-
because of the World Cup.
Yes.
They
You
forced
understand?
me.
So Qatar's
place if I
vision was Vision 2030. They want to use a variety of things to lessen their dependence on oil. They hit the jackpot with the World Cup.
Yeah.
Saudi, who is bigger many times by Qatar,
Yeah.
is not happy that the small boy in the neighborhood has been able to do it and they have
Yes.
not
They
been
have
able to
not.
do it. Hence, their global push. So this is the background. But before coming into football, just like Qatar did, you have to do smaller projects.
Yeah.
So from like last 20 years or so, you were there for the World Athletics Championships in
Yeah.
Doha. They had previously hosted almost everything.
They have a Diamond League.
The Diamond League.
In fact, just a couple of weeks ago, there was the Diamond League that
Yes.
happened over there.
So the Asian football
So
games,
they have F1.
F1, they've hosted everything. The World Cup is the jewel in the crown for all these countries. What have Saudi Arabia done? Saudi Arabia are hosting WWE.
Boxing.
WWE.
Yeah.
Do you know what it takes to take the WWE WrestleMania?
Massive deal.
Yes. Me, I didn't like wrestling like that. I married a wrestling fan. So me, I've now understood.
It's a big deal.
The sheer mechanics to take WrestleMania, the big one,
Yeah.
the Super Slam,
Yeah.
from Hollywood, the Hollywood one,
Yeah.
to Saudi Arabia, and they've signed a multi-year deal that started. It was held only a few weeks ago. Now, the kind of tax guarantees and things they have given these people is absolutely incredible.
Heavyweight fights are happening there.
Heavyweight fights are happening
They
there.
pay the highest to F1 to host a circuit, to host a game, to host a Grand Prix
Grand
there.
Prix there.
30 million a year.
And now,
It's the
and-
best. It's the best
and now
road
they-
circuit, like
It's
street
street
circuit.
circuit
The best
in the
street
world.
circuit. Yes, yes.
In the world.
The most dangerous one is
So,
Monaco. but I still
these
prefer Saudi.
these are the building blocks. But for all of them, the jewel in the crown is the World Cup because no other sport and no other event gives you the legitimacy like the FIFA
Like
World
the
Cup,
FIFA World
and
Cup.
FIFA know it.
Yeah.
Which is why they are doing that. But to do that, they don't want to follow Qatar's mistake of not having a football culture, which was something the Western media used
Use
to
against
beat
Qatar.
Qatar.
Use
You
against
don't want to
Qatar.
be the first host country to finish bottom.
Exactly. So because of that, they are currently trying to build those blocks in football. Right. So currently, and I put a few notes together, the Saudi Arabian League is worth $121 million. The Saudi Arabian League.
The whole league.
Ghana, are you listening?
Wait. The whole league is worth what?
$121 million.
Do you mean
The Pro
billion
League.
or million?
$1 million.
$1
$120 million.
So,
120
so what means in that Benzema in
It's
1
worth
year
more than the league.
It's worth more than the league. And that is what one of the things they want to correct. So they want to, by 2030, make sure that the Saudi Pro League is worth at least $480 million.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
The worth of the league. Now, they further expect to generate private sector opportunities in sports by bringing the best talent, not just on the field, but off the pitch, to come and train their people in all areas from hospitality
Sports
pitch
management,
sports management, and
The
everything.
same thing, just as Aspire Academy.
Exactly. That is what Qatar did, and they are following the blueprint as well. Right. So, they want to use sports, like we have learned, to promote the country. In doing that, they want to bring the best footballers. However, the principle of doing this with players who are going to the twilight of their careers has always been a thing that has been noted with the golf.
Yeah.
So that right from our own Abedi Pele, who went
To
in the
Qatar.
twilight of his career, and so many other players to go and take money, they want to change that. They want to bring players in their primes. Cristiano Ronaldo was just the key to doing that. And now they have brought the reigning Ballon d'Or winner.
That's crazy.
But in order to bring legitimacy to the league, so right now it's not just about money, because they know that Bahrain have money, Oman have money, Qatar have money, Kuwait
Jordan
have money,
has money.
Jordan has money. So anybody can do it. So, but they want to create a football culture from the beginning. And as a result, they have started buying, like you see, European properties. Again, Qatar opened the way by fathering PSG and Manchester City. And one of their teams is in the Champions League final. They have bought Newcastle. They are buying, as we have heard this week, they have joined golf,
Yeah.
the PGA,
Yeah.
to join their own franchise,
Golf, yeah.
the Live Golf, LIV Golf,
Yeah.
to form what is now going to be the most lucrative golf brand in the world. Right. All these deals are to ensure that in terms of grassroots, people are going to start visiting Saudi Arabia. Saudi will be a place that will be known as a country that is open for business and as the number one choice for sports, sportainment, and other things in the Gulf.
And Messi is now telling all of us to visit Saudi Arabia.
Saudi
In fact,
Ambassador.
he
Now-
went to Saudi and came back and got sanctioned.
And apologized nicely.
Now, another leg of this is to get some of the biggest people in the world to be ambassadors, and that is what you have said. So, for example, Visit Saudi Arabia, the concept of Visit Saudi Arabia,
Which is the tourism ministry's concept.
which is the tourism ministry's concept, is a vehicle that they are using to push this. So even though they don't like Qatar, they put their name on the World Cup because it gave them that visibility. And immediately, for those of us who were in Morocco for the Club World Cup, the sponsor for the Club World Cup was Visit Saudi Arabia.
Imagine.
Was Visit Saudi
When Ghana
Arabia.
comes out of the IMF, was to do this one.
2 weeks ago, as you know, I was in Rwanda,
Yeah.
not for sports journalism,
Yeah.
but to learn some of these things. The concept of Visit Rwanda is basically the same.
Which is sponsoring Arsenal.
Sponsoring Arsenal and the sleeves of PSG as well.
yeah.
Now, in the words of the chairman of the chair lady of the Rwandan Development Authority, why is the world concerned about the fact that we have poor people in this country and we are splurging so much money? The same thing can be said of Saudi Arabia, and the answer is simple. Yediska ne yiska,
Yes.
yedinam ne yinam.
Yep.
If they don't spend money for people to see the country, to bring their hard-earned dollars and come and spend in the country, they cannot lift the people
That
above
are
the
poor.
poverty line.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is what Rwanda is doing. And to share a statistic with you, just 4 years ago, just 5 years ago, sports tourism in Rwanda formed less than 1% of their tourism earnings.
4 years ago.
5 years ago. As we speak, it is getting close to 10%.
That's huge.
Rwanda are going to host the World Cycling Championships next year. Rwanda have been hosting the last Basketball Africa League finals for the last 3 years. Rwanda, as we speak, before I came, they are renovating their national team stadium. They have built another one in the south of the country. So that is where, while the Amahoro Stadium is being renovated, they are going to be playing that one there. And this new one, they told us that is going to be ready before next year. Why? Because before the deal with Arsenal is done, they want to bring Arsenal to Rwanda and let all of you come there and visit the country. They want to host a major golf tournament in Rwanda. This is all the blueprint that Saudi Arabia wants to do. Let me run through a few things quickly before we go. Now, Messi's rejection of Saudi suggests that money cannot buy everything.
True.
Like I said, they have chopped some L's in their quest because some of the things they have tried to do have not worked out. But largely, they are going according to plan. They are getting the best people in the world in terms of sports management. They are opening sports universities and things and training them, and they are bringing them into Saudi Arabia to help the next generation of Saudis be competent and manage things themselves. However, if they look at China's example, China, after spending all these billions, they couldn't even climb up the FIFA rankings.
True.
Yeah.
Qatar, with all the money they spent,
Finished
their national
bottom.
team, we saw what happened to them in the World Cup. You can't fake these things. So what they are doing also is to start a grassroots project. Mr. Ronaldo has been given, a lot of people don't know this, a portion of his contract has to do with him bringing some of the best expertise from Portugal to come and start grassroots projects in Saudi Arabia.
Academies and stuff.
Karim Benzema has been given that leeway as well.
Wow.
Yes. So these are some of the things. Saudi also suffered a setback. I've spoken about Egypt. So they know that they are going to chop a lot of L's. Their human rights record is also, we know what it is.
Awful.
Yeah.
Khashoggi.
Yes, Jamal Khashoggi and others. But they believe firmly that if they keep doing this and they keep going and bringing the best talent, we are going to keep watching their stuff. And that is essentially
And in fact,
what it is.
their league is now on TV.
Yes, their league is
Wow.
also on TV. Yes, it's on Star Times.
It's on start times.
Yeah.
My people know
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
good
it's on
things.
start time.
Yeah.
Listen, incredible stuff, Gary.
Yeah,
Thank you
man.
so much for that expose on what Saudi Arabia are doing. Somebody sent a message which is apt in terms of what Gary just said. Said
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia as a country is buying the players before putting them in the clubs.
And they will smartly tell you that it's not Saudi Arabia they come.
Of course, of
let's
It is
not
the Public
forget the
Investment Fund, the PIF, that is doing
that
that.
is
So
true.
they are smart.
Yeah.
No,
They're very
they
smart.
actually decided that the clubs, government was going to have, like, to invest in the clubs. Like, just a couple of days ago, when they released a statement of how they were now going to invest in their own league instead of going to buy clubs elsewhere. It's actually one thing they want to
They
do.
want to keep the money
They
inside.
want
Yes.
to keep the money in Saudi Arabia.
And also smartly, when they signed the deal, and as Gary said, lots of other sporting things. Italy are playing the Super Copa there.
Yeah.
Spain are playing their
Super
Spanish
Cup. Yeah.
Super Cup
Super
there.
Cup there, yeah.
And as part of the deal with Spain, they are sending the very, very young talent they have in Saudi.
Let's
to
not
go and
forget,
train in
we
Spain.
might go and play CAF Super Cup there.
Are you following? Yes, they are sending young talents, teenagers, to go and train in Spain, some of their academies. So in the next 10, 15, 20 years, you are seeing Saudi Arabians who are trained in Spain playing tiki-taka, and you're like, how
did this
But there's a
happen?
plan.
And already they play some
There's a
brilliant
plan.
football.
Yeah, so
Interesting. Well, I mean, this conversation on Saudi, it's a long one,
it's
and
so-
I know
I mean, the
Sicho
boss
in
was
particular,
in
you
there,
have a
the
lot
boss
to
was
say.
in the correct
But
spot.
let's wrap up with the Champions
The
League.
Champions
Sicho, I'll
League,
leave you with
yeah.
this one. It's a big one on Saturday.
Right.
Inter Milan, big underdogs, obviously. Man City, everybody's favorites to win. But how, by and large, do you think this one will play out? You have about 5 minutes.
Yeah, we've got a few minutes, so I'll be very quick. Listen, City are overwhelming favorites.
Yeah.
They are overwhelming favorites. Everybody looks at the fixture and is thinking that City has to win it. And why not? Because of the brand of football City have played, not throughout the season, but in the last 4 months or so. They've just been brilliant. They've been blowing teams away. But when you want to focus on a fixture, you need to go a lot more into its nitty-gritties, because the fine margins will count in the final.
True.
They come up against an Inter Milan side who are already 2 times cup winners. Last season and again this season. Almost all the players were there throughout the period. And Inter Milan have ended the season very well and on the high and with momentum. One thing that will go against Man City, though, is how Arsenal made it easy for them to win the league with about 3 games to go. So City were not playing like they were playing against Liverpool, where almost every game they need to keep the intensity.
Yeah.
So if you watch what City have done in their last 4 games, the Chelsea game they won by a goal to 0, but they were not good, they were not fluid.
Yeah.
Then they lost to they drew against Brighton in a game where they were not again very good. Then they lost to Brentford. Then in the FA Cup final against Man United, City were not that good on
So
the
they've
day.
lost momentum.
They've lost some momentum. City are great. That might not matter. But in football at the highest level, these little things do count. So City have not been vintage. And Erling Haaland has his longest drought is coming to City.
Yeah.
He's not scored in the last 5.
Yeah.
I mean, not much, but for Erling Haaland standard, it is. So you wonder if City can just switch on in the final. Meanwhile, when City have struggled this season or under Pep, they've played against teams that play like Inter Milan. How do they play? They play with the back 5 when they are defending. They play with 2 strikers. So watch this season for City. The one team that beat City home and away this season is what? Brentford. How do they play? Defending back 5, go with Mbuemo and Ivan Toney when he plays, and when he wasn't there,
True.
they played Silva, and they still beat Man City. Why does that happen? City's new system means that they are playing with a back 3-2 in midfield, 5 attacking, because Gundogan and Kevin De Bruyne will find the half spaces. But when you play against a team that has a back 5, that is 1v1 marking. That's quite easy.
The spaces are hard to come by.
The spaces are hard to come by because it's not as if it's midfield where the space is huge. It's a low block in front of the goalkeeper, where the space is not huge for you to even dribble or maneuver. So 1v1 defending in those scenarios are perfect. With City playing against the 3-back, coming up against 2 strikers, the dynamics is, are the 3-back defenders going to go wide or stay narrow around Ruben Diaz? Ruben Diaz. That is something for City to think about. And when they play in the FA Cup final against United were great off the ball, but when United had the ball, they were poor.
Yeah.
Inter have got some of the best midfielders and who are comfortable on the ball. Brozovic, Barella,
they're very efficient.
They are comfortable. You can press them, but they are comfortable. They won't give the ball away as United did with Casemiro, Bruno, and Eriksen. So when Inter have the moments to counter-attack, there could be a problem. And when Chelsea played against City the last time in the Champions League, you remember how Chelsea set up?
Yeah.
The back 5?
Exactly.
They didn't break them down. You know why Pep Guardiola has struggled to beat Tottenham Hotspur, irrespective of the manager, at Tottenham Hotspur's home grounds in more recent years? He's not even scored a goal there. How did they play?
Back 5.
Back 5, 2 up front. Does Pep have to overthink something? I don't think so.
No.
How can City win? To wrap it up, City would have to rely sometimes, if it's not tactics, on the individual brilliance of the players they've got. Because Ike Gundogan does not need tactics to win you games. Kevin De Bruyne doesn't need that to win you games. Erling Haaland the same. So City are favourites, but the fixture is closer than many people have made it look like.
Interesting.
Wicked.
Thank you, Sicho. Wicked. Thank you so much. Yeah, man. One of the best tactical brains on this show. But thank you, Sicho. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Muftawu. Thank you, Daniel Koranteng, joining us from Morocco. He'll be live on Sports Arena on Sunday with all the latest from the CAF Champions League final here on this network. This has been Game Plan on 99.7 Joe FM. My name is Fentuo, Tahiru Fentuo. We appreciate your time. Until next time, take care and bye-bye.